Hello, it's KRBrickBot, and last time we looked at the Screw Boomba, now we're looking at the other Boomba from Carbot Power Bumba. Blue side coloring with a blue gradient into the cube background, the jungly theme. Power Boomba is pretty much the same logo as Screw Boomba. Vehicle and robot mode, and note the slightly different robot illustrations. Blurb to tell you can put a ball in there, and then how to launch it. Little bio here. Don't do anything stupid with balls. April of 22. Yeah, also this is a very big box. It's like that this is a very big box for presumably a broad bot and his big weapon.
힘 하나는 최고인 SUV. 내 이름은 파워붐바. 성격, 힘 모두 상남자인데 목소리가 모기 목소리래. 그래서 평소에는 말을 잘 안 해. 성격은 시원시원하고 정의감 넘치고 완벽하지. 물론 말을 하는 순간 환상이 깨지지만 말이야. 스크류붐바처럼 볼을 쏘는 카봇으로 특히 발로 하는 족구를 잘한다고. 반갑다 차탄. 나는 힘으로 상대를 제압하는 파워붐바야. 어떤 공격이든 방패로 막는다. 파워 디펜스. 고공점프 후 시저스킥으로 상대를 공격한다. 붐바붐바 시저스킥. 완벽한 외모, 강력한 힘과 능력, 그리고 멋진 성격. 하지만 목소리는 왜 모기 같냐고. 야야, 내 목소리가 어때서? 나 이래봬도 힘이 장사인 카봇이라고.
In online bios, it was officially stated he's like a G-Wagon type of SUV, but from what I can search, the car that G-Wagon specifically applies to is the Mercedes, which has a very different rounded front from this fictitious SUV model. Yeah, so it looks like the front might be just vaguely resembles some other type of SUV, while I guess the general shape, just the feel of it is a G-Wagon, but this is very sloped, almost like a 45-degree slope, and that is a very long hood compared to the rest of the car. That is almost a third of the car. I mean, it's hard to see cars with hoods that long, but it's still, I guess it's a nice style, but even though it might make the wheels a little smaller, I mean, this is supposed to be off-road. Nice wheel designs though, like the 5-spoke type. Although they're looking pretty thin, much like the Screw Boombas, I guess because of clearance, so. Yeah, but they are pretty rugged. It does have that rumbly feel when you roll it along. Otherwise, some other semi-futuristic details. I mean, that's like there's the hood door handle here and extra bulge on the side here. It gets 2 distinctly separated headlights with gold on the lower layer here, and then more lights on the side of the bumper. Pretty big bumper here. And a pretty narrow grille there with a overhanging emblem symbol there. Now, little vents right in the front here. Then a line across here. Hinge and transformation holes, and then another hinge here, and then a gas cap here. Another gas cap here, like symmetrical gas capping. A nice painted black trim across the mudguard all the way across here. And there's a single bit of suspension molded in there. Much like Screw Boomba, the rear window section is pretty narrow with gold tail lights, like gold polygonical tail lights. Yeah, the robot knees are a bit more obvious than the other Boomba, but at least these robot bits do double as what looks like gold exhausts. That is a big airy windscreen with nice silver painted big rear view mirrors. And the doors that kinda taper and just trail down here to make narrower rear windows. The top is also pretty plain with not much intentional detailing other than the top bars here. Yeah, the rest of them are just hinge and mounting points. So, Power Bumba balls a ball bombardment with a big giant cannon on top of the car. Yep, 3 holes, and you just have like a pretty simple SUV with a big cannon. That's just Scooby fun. This thing lobs pretty well, actually. Because real firearms would just shoot straight forward, but with a low-powered toy blasters, there's not much power, so if you have a little bit of an arc from the start, it makes it go a little bit further of a distance. Let's talk about this cannon for a bit. Well, yeah, I guess it's a pretty toyetic cannon. Like, it's just a pretty square or just some octagonically cornered square barrel with a silver trim around it. Yeah, and I guess it's basically just a little rolling ramp for the balls to go into, and there are clips on the side just for storage. And it kind of looks a little bug-eyed. And then, yeah, they roll into this ramp here. Then, yeah, just pull the trigger, and with these side-mounted ball holders and launchers, pressure launchers, yeah, just push that plunger and it'll shoot straight out with a nice loud click. But you have to manually push the trigger in and pull it out. Would have been really handy if there was a spring in there so that this automatically springs back out when you press it. Much like a Bionicle Zaymor launcher. But unlike that, if you see these ridges, yeah, these cut ridges, that actually holds the balls in place even when upside down to the side so they keep rolling out. That's really helpful and resourceful. That's a little bit clever. And also kinda intentionally looks like a bit of the design. Just nice subtle clicks just to hold them in there. They mount with this square peg in the vehicle mode, or these 3-layer round holes in the robot mode for a handle. And then these are some POM milky white clips that are made of the stronger type of plastic, yet really good for just a lot of pressure when inserting this in the car. I guess this makes more sense of an external weapon roof placement than Screw Boomba's fork. That's not really gonna fork anything in car mode. But all of his vehicle offensive capabilities is in this cannon, whereas Screw Boomba's is internal. Yeah, so it's two different styles, I guess, whether you want just hit a ground target or just hit a target further away or slightly in the air. In theory, you could do it like a rapid fire. Would have been really helpful if the spring was auto-loading, but not quite straight on. You have to have gravity do the rapid loading for you. And you can have a max 3-ball clip and a max 5-ball capacity. But Power Bumba only comes with 2 teal bomb balls. So you have to steal some from Screw Boomba to get the max load. Power Bumba is a pretty big car, even by Carbot standards. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's just a bit longer and just a bit wider. And then even compared to Screw Boomba, I don't know, maybe it makes sense he's like a bigger type of SUV model. For transformation, I guess the best way to remove the cannon is just to tilt it to the side. Yeah, hopefully these clips are very strong. And then I suppose you can work with unlatching the arms first. Yeah, there is no clear way to figure out where to detach first. I guess the hood. I guess you'd... Oh yeah. These are the first things in unlocking it. As if it was a actually functioning towbot. Yeah, and then unlatch that. Bring that down. And then feet here. Very interesting style that half of the back of the car is upside down in the robot mode. Yeah, those are pretty tight tabs. Head is right there as you collapse these in all the way 90. Yep, yeah, that's gonna be a little annoying. And then fold these doors in. That cleans up the arms very nicely. And then turn this hood around 180. And yes, that will scuff the top here to have a circular scuffing line. Annoying. I guess his color scheme in disguise is this red and gold. Yeah, nice. Really nice accents that go with the blue. As with the silver, yeah, gold and silver right next to each other. Maybe probably shouldn't work, but maybe it kind of does here. Along with a bit of black. So yeah, I guess it's one of those types where like most of the car shape just goes to the arms, while like the bottom of the car is like a more unique chest. The feet are molded in an A stance, but the wheels point completely down, so he's kinda in a roller skating mode in neutral position. So that could be a little annoying just to keep it on balance. But it stands pretty fine. Or you could just slightly put them off to the side, or just completely fold them like this, in case you don't want to have any rolling. Yeah, but then I guess this edge would be most likely to have the most wear, surface wear. Head is relatively small, but reasonably proportioned to a robot body. Like, it's mostly gold, mostly painted a nice gold with also painted red. And a silver faceplate with the matching red eyes. That's a really bulging crest, and you may notice that these are actually flipping antenna. Yeah, so they go forward like this. Yeah, so that gives them a more powerful look. Like not Optimus Prime. Everything with a faceplate and an antenna is Optimus Prime. The antenna's down all the way 180 is one of the digital illustrations, so that's why it listed like this. So I assumed this was just like an unpowered mode and a powered mode. And unpowered to powered mode, as in like pressing in the chest here, which splits open his chest and then flips out these little spring-sided chest bits into like these shoulder pylons, just additional extension just to give him more surface area, and then just put a ball in his chest. Yeah, so that changes the look and adds a little bit of a splash of teal. Yeah, I guess that does hold it in pretty well. And then this button on the back, on the back of the hood here, which pushes across. Okay, with the ball in the place, it's loaded in, and then it lobs a little bit upward. Little hinge there that pushes this button here. And unlike Screw Boomba, his chest isn't feeling empty without the ball, because there is a little flap that fills in the gap. So that is clever engineering to have this 2-joint spring load to cover up the gap, but I guess also gives it that little upward arc lift. Articulation. The head is on a full 360 swivel, the moving antenna. Nice traditional constructed ratchet joints. Arm outward that much. The shoulder kibble is mounted on a different place as the shoulder hinge, so it can go all the way out. Yeah, I guess it's a little annoying these could spring easily. More than 90-degree bend. Unfortunately, no bicep swivel on these outwardly hollow arms. Shoulders are also double hinged for transformation, so you can do a shrug. I guess which would be fine on most Carbot toys, but his weapon, this giant cannon, can't really hold it. Oh, that's like a major oversight. If you're gonna give a single character this massive oversized gun, you should have had ratchets in there. Only ratchets in these joints, but not these joints. They couldn't think of a way to put ratchets in there with this central ball launcher also. I mean, that's a really unfortunate oversight, so you're gonna have to angle it in certain ways so that this thing doesn't keep flopping over itself. Like this, inward. Can't even double hand it that well. And mounting the ball onto his arms really doesn't make a difference. Yeah, if it's not directly downward or at an odd angle, yeah, it's not gonna work. Of course there's no waist swivel with all this going on. But it has forward and backwards all the way. And a nice ratchety split with stoppers right here. Nice over 90-degree bend. Hey, an actual small piece just as a gap filler. And a two-way ratchet transformational joint with the extra toe down, so you can have a double toe down, or just more importantly, like forward like this. This is good articulation if he can't have both of his feet flat on the ground like this. Power Bumba is another pretty great, excellently made single Carbot character. You have a pretty good design and proportions and a good integrated chest weaponry. My main issue is they really should have accounted for him to be able to hold a big, heavy ball cannon like this with ratcheted shoulders. So of the Bomba duo, I guess I like Power Bumba overall more for his appearance and his coolest factor. But I guess Screw Boomba's ball launching function just works better. I mean, it's more straightforward. I guess it's more simple and straightforward, while this one, it has a cooler, more involved ball launching gimmick, but his ball launching gimmick is pretty simple. Just one pressure launcher, but then while this is a giant cannon, it does give a bit of a bigger statement. You know, I guess it kind of makes sense. Screw Boomba has like ball cavities in his feet to compensate for his lesser specialty in kicking ball sports, and then Power Bumba has a big arm cannon, a big hand cannon to compensate for his specialty in the foot sports. In vehicle mode, I just think Screw Boomba works better and has more enjoyable play value with its ball function. Power Bumba is just a car with a cannon on top, just the old-fashioned way. So it's your personal choice whether you like one or the other to have a big robot transformer action figure that also has balls just for the good fun, but it's still an action figure on its own. So after these big Boombas, they released smaller bombs, which I reviewed first before these, go figure. So you can check out the reviews for these if you haven't yet.